Well, we want to welcome you into this week's edition of the Weather Hangout. Whether you're joining us on YouTube or WTOL 11+, we appreciate you for joining us this week with me and Chief Meteorologist Chris Vickers.
Hey, we're ready to have some fun this week.
Oh,
we
yeah.
had a crowd last week, and we're kind of getting into, I don't know, maybe the summer mode where I'm feeling it. Memorial Day is approaching. We're looking for the unofficial kickoff of the summer season.
Yes.
You got to be excited about it, right, Matt?
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm already starting to get some of those summer plans in. I've already went swimming. Already been out pretty much doing a bonfire and everything.
There you go.
So yeah, definitely enjoying the summer vibe so far.
What's one thing, and I just got to put you on the spot right here, and maybe you at home as well, that really kind of speaks summer to you? If you could pick one thing, is it the for me, it's probably got to be the long summer nights, maybe the humid feel, and the night out by the bonfire.
Yeah, definitely the humid feel, but I think honestly it's the burgers and hot dogs. Love some food, but the burgers, the hot dogs, and the pool, that just screams summer to me.
So you cooking out for Memorial Day? That's the question then.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. And maybe you will be doing the same, and you're probably thinking, all right, are we going to be getting some Memorial Day heat? And where kind of have we been in the history of Memorial Day climatology? Because it is still in the month of May, where we know we've seen some cold and wet weather before, where we've had jackets and sweatshirts, but we've also seen some big-time heat, including last year. We were up into the 90s, and we're expecting a little bit of heat to be building as we get into the upcoming Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, I'll definitely be breaking pretty much all the history of Memorial Day, whether it's the heat, the rain, or anything. Then I'll definitely be coming up just in a few minutes as well.
Where is the rain, Ben? Speaking of that, right? This is still the spring season, right? A wet, rainy season. In fact, May, did you know this, actually averages the most precipitation over any of our 12 months. And we have been exceptionally dry so far this month of May. So I'm going to put that in perspective, where we are right now, what we're expecting for the outlook for the rest of May, and also put into historical context, just how dry are we? And I do have an update for our farmers that are joining us. We're in the midst of the planting season.
Yes.
We've got corn,
busy season.
Got soybeans, and we've got oats that are, being planted. It is the busy season. This is the time of the year, of course, with the long daylight. Tip of the hat to our farmers that are out there for 12, 14, 16 plus hours a day getting their fields planted. Yeah,
I've definitely seen, I went to Columbus a couple of weeks ago, and I've definitely seen, them at night.
Yes.
I've never seen that before, so that was astonishing to me to see them kind of getting it ready at night. So,
not uncommon for our farmers to be working very hard this time of the year, so kudos to you, and hopefully we keep you informed on what to expect weather-wise. Before we get to all that, though, you've got some amazing videos for us. What's up first, Matt?
Oh, yeah, so we got some good video. This is out in Australia. The hunt for pieces of meteorite lit up the sky. Wow, look at that. Just in Queensland, reported on Monday after there were multiple reports of a fireball that did explode, and this is just around the airport in Australia that showed the meteor flashing bright green as it fell to Earth.
So here's what's going on right here. Now, this is one meteor. Of course, we're kind of looping this back and forth so you could see it time and time again. But the composition of that meteor actually determines the color of that flash as well, depending on what's burning up as it enters the Earth's atmosphere. And these are entering the Earth's atmosphere at tens of thousands of miles per hour and burning up and vaporizing very quickly. Very, very cool. Now, that same meteor was actually captured on a camera as well, trailing through the sky in northern Queensland, as Matt said. Slow it down a little bit. Look at that exploding. This footage was actually taken Saturday night. Just astonishing to see. Local residents and, of course, all across the world, those reports are pouring in, viewed specifically over Australia. But when you see something like that, it is a sight to be seen.
Wow, that is astonishing.
All right, next up, it may have some impacts to our weather. If you notice it, the hazy, milky-looking skies. Alberta, Canada, this video was taken Friday showing firefighters responding to a large wildfire in Alberta's East Prairie settlement. Now, authorities hope some cooler weather and some showers that have been in the forecast and actually have been occurring will help the firefighters combat the blazes that are going on. I've had reports of up to 4 million acres that have been toasted and burnt, and that wildfire smoke, as you can see right there, lofted high up into the atmosphere, impacting our air quality, not necessarily at the surface, but you've noticed at night some of those hazy sunsets, the orange, the yellow that have been glowing. That is the wildfire smoke from Alberta, Canada, impacting our sunsets and sky conditions.
Wow, definitely insane, and definitely seeing a little bit of that filtered sun lately. So hopefully we can get some, at least clear sunshine
That's what
as we
we're
go
hoping
throughout the
for.
next couple
All
of
right, are you on the couch for this one, Matt?
Yeah, anyone missing a couch or sofa was spotted flying due to the high winds from a balcony of a 35th floor. Wow, look at that again. High-rise building in Turkey on Wednesday. Residents captured in the moment just as the couch fell to the garden. But good news is no one was hurt. Look at that.
Fortunately, no one was hurt. That is it's very Wizard of Oz-ish there as that's going flying by. But could you imagine walking out to your balcony and being like,
oh, what's that?
wait a minute, where'd my couch go? It was up here just earlier this morning.
Oh, man.
And those high winds just whipped it off. Well, we appreciate you being with us. We're just getting rolling right now with our weekly weather hangout. And as Matt said, if you're watching us on YouTube or on WTOL 11+, we really appreciate you being with us. Stay with us, and we'll see if you get the correct answer to this quick fun facts over the quick break. A whole lot of rain back then, over 8 inches of precipitation that fell in the month of May. Compared to where we are right now, just an incredible dry spell after we had started the year with quite a bit of wet weather. Now, over the monthly precipitation from January and February, we had built quite a surplus. In fact, February, we got crushed with widespread rain. Not a whole lot of snow, of course, in the month of February. Much of that fell in the form of liquid precipitation, just shy of 5 inches. And then March rolled around, still had some wet weather, really began to dry up in April, and it's now into the month of May. We've had extremely dry weather, not even an inch of precipitation so far this entire month. So where does that actually rank as far as the historical records? We currently stand right now in the top 10 for driest Mays ever on record. Now currently standing, it's 1881, less than a half an inch. That was the only time in history where we had less than a half an inch of precipitation. 1887 had just about 2/3 of an inch of precipitation, just shy of 7/10 in 1934, and here we are just outside of the top 5. Now, the thing is, we don't expect we're going to be seeing much of any rainfall for the rest of May, so very high confidence here that we may be ending the month of May one of the driest on record, or certainly at least in the top 10 driest on record. So there's where we are, 9/10 of an inch of rainfall. Now, the last rain that we had actually occurred Friday evening, occurring just prior to and entering into the weekend. Now, May, normally one of the wettest months of the year, averaging just shy of 4 inches of precipitation through the entire month of May. Now, you saw in that weather fun fact, over 8 inches of rainfall occurred in May, set back in 1943. So historically, it can be a very wet month, and it averages one of our wettest months over the course of the calendar year. Now, where's our rain chances ahead? Can you say they've just gone ahead and flatlined over the next 7 days? We're going to talk nearly a 0% chance of rain as we go from Tuesday into Wednesday. Even with the front coming through the area, it'd be hard-pressed to even get a sprinkle out of that front. So we're going to keep you entirely dry Wednesday, and that flat line is going to go right into Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and toward the upcoming holiday weekend, we're not expecting any chance of widespread rainfall as we go through the next 7 days. In fact, that 6 to 10 day outlook shows very dry weather expected right centered across the Great Lakes down into the Ohio River Valley. So we have higher confidence of below average precipitation that will be occurring as we go through the next 7 to 10 days. That gets us through the end of May and into early June, where the more active jet stream is. Subtropical jet stream is going to be featuring above average chances of precipitation across the desert Southwest and into the Rocky Mountains and parts of the western and central plains. Now, humidity levels, if you notice this as well, month of May here, typically we get humidity that begins to creep up, very dry air that's in place, and another cold front that comes through the area bringing dry air, but very, very dry conditions as far as the humidity would go as we go Wednesday and into Thursday. So low humidity and low dew points going to make for a very comfortable and cooler feel for that outlook as we go into Thursday. Now, quick moment to pivot a little bit. We'll talk our farming outlook and where we currently stand right now. We are looking at the amount of crops planted now exceeding in some instances 80% or more across parts of the Ohio. Now, the percentage of crops planted comes in from the USDA, mainly dry weather expected this week, and we do anticipate very limited chances of rain. That's a look at your farming outlook. Let's send it over to meteorologist Diane Phillips with an information and update on some cooler weather that's going to return.
We could definitely use some rain, and the good news is that we have a cold front coming in, and typically we see some rain along a cold front. However, that will not be the case tomorrow. Just playing with our temperatures for our Wednesday forecast, you'll find as we go into tomorrow morning, we're into the 60s. So that's kind of where we all start, and pretty quickly we warm up fast. You're gonna find 80 degrees on the thermometer by lunchtime for many of us, but you're gonna find our lakeshore communities already. We're starting to see a little bit of that cooler breeze coming out of the north. So we have a cold front that's going to be parked towards our north, and that's going to advance through as we go through the next couple of hours into the afternoon. But one thing to notice is as that front starts to drop, remember, it's going over land and water. So you're going to find that there's not a lot of resistance for that cold front. So it's able to pick up a lot of speed as it goes over Lake Erie. And then it starts to push inland a lot quicker than, well, when it was trying to go over southeast Michigan. So you're going to find that it's a really fast and sudden drop for those who are going to be mainly east of 75. But overall, everybody will notice a difference by the time you're trying to do dinner on the patio, because we are going to be looking at those conditions now for everybody that are going to allow us to be finding, well, 50s for everyone. So overall, you can plan on that cold front to be playing. Now, if you typically see this in the late spring and summer, this kind of setup in certain cases can be called a pneumonia front. So it's a cold front that is enhanced by cold lake water. So typically, like the Great Lakes, they're still a little bit cooler at this point in the season. And that just kind of helps to push this cold front along. So it's going to be fast moving. And of course, when it's fast moving, that means our temperatures are going to drop fast. But to be a pneumonia front, you're going to find that that drop has to have 16-degree difference in just 1 hour. I don't think tomorrow we're going to see that, but it's a close chance that we have. You'll even find that in those hourly temperatures. We're going to be into the low to mid 70s by lunchtime, even a little bit higher. Wouldn't be surprised if we do reach that 80-degree mark. But as we go into the afternoon, dinner time, we're into the 60s, and before you know it, we're into the 50s. So it'll be a very fast drop in those temperatures going forward. Of course, make sure you keep an eye on the WTOL 11 weather app for not only cool extras like the weather hangout, but also to stay on top of these temperatures for tomorrow. As we continue on with the weather hangout, though, we're going to turn you over to a fun fact.
Wow, 98 degrees. In just a few seconds, you'll realize what day that was that we did, in fact, hit 98 degrees. But of course, this is Memorial Day climatology. Of course, Memorial Day marks the unofficial start of a summer. And I know you're ready to get that grill ready and to get in the pool. Before that, I'll be pretty much breaking down what temperatures and how much rainfall you typically see around Memorial Day. Of course, that normal high is just around 76 degrees, but that forecast high for at least this week will be right around 84 degrees. So we'll be a bit above average as we get closer to Memorial Day. And look at those last Memorial Day highs. Oh yeah, we got some hot ones out there. Just last year, we saw around 90 degrees, but before that, we dropped down all the way to 74 degrees, and then we were up to 90 degrees again. I did mention this back in 2018, we saw 98 degrees. Now, that is, of course, the highest temperature we've ever seen in the month of May. Of course, eventually, as we look at it, the warmest Memorial Day high was in fact 98 degrees, but the coldest Memorial Day low set back in 1992, which is right around 34 degrees. Man, that was a cold night, but of course, those warmer temperatures is what we can expect as we go throughout the next couple of days. So looking at that, the warmest highs over the past, at least over Memorial Day, is records. Of course, that one set back in 2018, but you got to go all the way down to 2012, where we were right around 96 degrees. Dropped down 6 more years after that, we were around 93 degrees for highs. And then eventually by 1988, we'll be right around 93 degrees. And of course, some of you remember last year, it was a warmer. We were right at 90 degrees for Memorial Day. But what about that Memorial Day rainfall? Well, we're on a little bit of a streak, 2-year streak without any rainfall. And that could be the case where we extend that streak to 3 years as we go throughout today. Back in 2020, we saw, of course, a little rainfall. That's the same case in 2019, where we saw a little bit of rainfall as well, but not much to put a damper on your day. And we'll likely stay nice and dry for your Memorial Day this year. Looking at it, average rainfall just over 1/10 of rainfall as far as a Memorial Day. Not going to be the case as we go throughout the day. We're expected to stay nice and dry. Here's a look at your Memorial Day forecast. As we go into your Memorial Day weekend, those temperatures are going to be into the upper 70s for Saturday. And eventually for our Sunday, we warm up nicely, partly cloudy skies, and those temperatures are going to be right around 80 degrees. And of course, for your Memorial Day, which will be Monday, we'll see a few clouds out there, but temperatures are going to be into the mid-80s. It is going to be nice and warm, and that pool temperatures will be a little bit warmer as well. So make sure you fire up that grill and possibly get some swimming activities going as we go closer into Memorial Day. That is, in fact, your Memorial Day climatology. We'll have more coming up just after this fun fact.
I feel like that's subject a little bit to opinion.
Yeah.
As well. I'm thinking like, I'm a little crybaby when it comes to cold water. I'm just going to go put it out there. I'm thinking like 85, 86. I like it like bath
you're getting a
water.
lot
I like
warmer.
it like bath water.
Bath water. Okay, I like that. I did go swimming this past weekend, and it wasn't a more heated pool, but I was still a little cold.
Yeah, keep it in mind, though, as we go into Memorial Day weekend coming up here, our lake water temperature still ranges from about 58, 59, close to the low 60s at a few spots. That is far too cold to be out there swimming.
Exactly.
And, of course, when we talk boater safety as well, keep in mind if you're going to be out boating, many people kick this weekend off with boating. If you're going to be on the lake, of course, do it safely, but also have those life preservers with you. And know that hypothermia, if you would find yourself in the water, could set in very quickly with water temperatures that are still in the upper 50s to near 60 degrees. So a little word of safety. I'm on my soapbox of keeping everybody safe this holiday weekend. And of course, looking forward to some warmer weather that's going to be headed our way as well, Matt.
Yeah, definitely going to be some nice warmer weather as we head closer to Memorial Day. And even after that, we got some nice weather and still dry as we go into next week.
And then beyond that, we'll get ready to wrap up the month of May. Can you believe it? Kids are going to be off of school and on summer break and summer vacation. It's here just like that. We'll be keeping you up to date, though. We'll be talking about the wrap-up of May next week as well in our weather hangout. And how about what we can look forward to in the month of June as well, which perhaps could be seeing maybe some more active weather hopefully picking back up into the area. It could even be some storms.
Where's the severe weather lately?
It's been
non-existent
for us. Absolutely. So we'll have more details on that as we go into next week. We appreciate you watching, though, here on WTOL 11 Plus or on YouTube. Till next week, have a great one.